If you're training naturally, your workouts cannot look like someone who's enhanced. Full stop. Their hormones are elevated 24/7. Yours aren't. That means more protein synthesis, more recovery capacity, and a completely different tolerance for volume and frequency. So if you're following some high volume pro split you found on Instagram and wondering why your progress doesn't look like the person that you got the program from, this is probably why. In this video, I'll break down the exact techniques that work best for natural lifters, backed by science, coaching data, and real world results. No fluff, no bro science, just training that actually works when you don't have help from a vial. Here's the physiological difference no one talks about. If you're natural, your muscle protein synthesis spikes for 24 to 48 hours after a workout, then drops back down to baseline. But if you're enhanced, that window stays open all the time. They're in a constant growth environment, even when they're not training, and that changes everything. They can handle more volume, recover faster, and grow off stuff that would completely fry a natural lifter. So for you, the game is about stimulus quality, not just stacking more sets. You want to create enough mechanical tension and neuromuscular stress to trigger growth without tipping into overtraining. A 2018 review in Frontiers in Physiology laid it out. Natural lifters get better results by focusing on intensity and frequency, not just chasing volume. So your program needs to be built around smart structure, effective reps, and recovery efficiency. That's what we're diving into next. Let's start with effort-based techniques. These are all about maximizing stimulus per rep without needing to crank up total volume. And that's critical for natural lifters. You can't out-recover bad programming, so every set needs to count. Heavy double rest pause. This one's simple but nasty. Grab a weight you can do for 4 to 6 solid reps. Rest 10 to 15 seconds, then go for 2 to 3 more reps. Rest again, then 1 to 2 final reps. You're staying in an effective rep zone where all the growth actually happens. Once your slow twitch fibers are tired, your body starts pulling in those high threshold fast twitch fibers, the ones that really grow. Schoenfeld's 2016 paper backs it up. Those last 3 to 5 reps before failure are where the magic happens. This gives you that stimulus without stacking multiple full sets. Myo-reps. Myo-reps are like a hypertrophy cheat code. You do one activation set, usually 10 to 12 reps close to failure. Then you take a short rest, like 10 to 15 seconds, and knock out little mini sets of 3 to 5 reps until your rep speed drops off. You're basically skipping the junk and going straight to the good stuff. High tension reps with minimal fatigue. It's perfect for accessories like curls, laterals, even leg curls. And the research on cluster style training shows you get comparable growth with less nervous system wear. Top set plus back off. This one's a staple. Hit a top set in the 3 to 6 rep range. Then drop the weight 10 to 20% and do 1 or 2 back off sets for 6 to 10 reps. It gives you the strength stimulus and controlled volume. You're building muscle, reinforcing good technique, and protecting your joints and CNS. The bonus, you can wave this across the week. Heavy top sets early, back off focus later. Elite natural bodybuilders use this structure all the time. All 3 of these are about getting more from less. That's the game when you're lifting without chemical recovery. Stimulate, don't annihilate. Tempo and control are tools that get slept on, but they're huge for natural lifters because they let you increase mechanical tension without going heavier or adding sets. Slow eccentrics plus stretch pauses. Take your time on the way down, like 4 to 5 seconds, and then pause at the bottom when the muscle is fully stretched. That pause is key. This combo activates the mTOR pathway, basically flipping the switch for protein synthesis. August Sawara's 2013 study confirms it. Best movements, incline press, RDLs, flies, split squats, anything where the stretch is loaded. Pause reps. Pause reps are simple, brutal, and incredibly effective. You're eliminating momentum and forcing the muscle to do all the work. Pause at the bottom of a squat, pause mid-row. That's where real control lives. Builds joint stability, improves positioning, and gives you more tension for the same or even less load. Bottom line, these tempo-based methods create more muscular stress without crushing your recovery. Let's shift into skill and recruitment techniques. This is where you train your nervous system to get more out of what you've already got. Strength skill work. This means lifting heavy-ish, like 80 to 90% of your 1 rep max for short sets of 2 to 4 reps. Clean form, no grinding reps, no failure. You're teaching your body to move heavyweight efficiently and recruit more motor units without blowing out your CNS. Research shows this improves rate of force development and makes your reps more efficient over time. Great for squats, presses, deadlifts, big lifts that require precision. Post-fatigue supersets. Start with a heavy compound like an RDL or an overhead press, then immediately follow it up with lighter isolation movement for the same muscle. So RDL into leg curl, overhead press into some front raises or lateral raises. You're attacking both ends of the strength curve and finishing off the fibers that didn't get fully recruited. You get more total recruitment and better hypertrophy without needing more sets. All of this is about increasing efficiency, making every rep smarter, not just harder. So now, how do you actually structure this without burning out? The best strategy is a high frequency, low volume split. That means hitting each muscle group 2 to 3 times per week, but with fewer sets per session. Here's an example of a weekly split designed for natural lifters. Monday, upper body, horizontal push and pull. The focus is on pressing and rowing. We're hitting chest, back, shoulders, biceps, and triceps. Tuesday, lower body, glutes and hamstring focus. Working on the posterior chain with the eccentrics and pauses. Hitting the glutes, hamstrings, and core. Wednesday, push, vertical, and isolation. Focus on overhead press and chest volume. We're hitting chest, shoulders, triceps. Thursday, pull, back, biceps, and rear delts, focusing on pulling strength and isolation. Friday, legs, with a quad and glute focus. Anterior chain and unilateral work on this one. We're gonna focus on quads and glutes, but still hitting hamstrings and calves. Saturday and Sunday can be active recovery, mobility, walking, and soft tissue work. Here's what that looks like in terms of muscle frequency. Chest 3 times a week, back 3 times a week, quads twice a week, hamstrings 3 times a week, glutes 3 times a week, shoulders 3 times a week, and arms 2 to 3 times a week. You're spreading out that stimulus so you get more frequent protein synthesis spikes without frying your system. Again, Schoenfeld's 2016 study backs it. Higher frequency with moderate volume beats bro splits for naturals. And every 4 to 6 weeks, deload. Even if you don't feel trashed. Back off the volume and intensity, let your nervous system breathe. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about what you do, it's about what you can recover from. Before we wrap up, let's hit some common mistakes that hold natural lifters back. Mistake 1, too much junk volume. 10 sets of curls and raises with no intent, that's not helping. Focus on quality, not fluff. Mistake 2, training to failure every set. You're not recovering from that and it will wreck your CNS and joints. Train hard, but leave a rep or 2 in the tank most of the time. Mistake 3, no deloads and no auto regulation. If your joints hurt, sleep is garbage, and lifts are stalling, you don't need more volume. You need to back off and reset. And mistake 4, poor recovery. If your protein and sleep aren't dialed in, nothing else matters. You grow outside of the gym, not during. If you're training naturally, your job is to stimulate, not annihilate. Your results come from consistency and recovery, not doing more than your body can handle. Track what matters, how you're recovering, whether soreness lingers, if your strength is going up. If you're already using some of these techniques, drop a comment and let me know it's working. Or if you want to check out a full plan built around these techniques, check the link in the description. Let's train smarter and get results the right way.